Have you ever wondered how to make someone truly miss you? Not in a manipulative or toxic way, but in a way that makes them genuinely value your presence and admire who you are. It's a powerful feeling, isn't it? To be sought after, to be thought of fondly, and to hold a special place in someone's heart. That's exactly what we're diving into today. Think about it. When someone misses you, it's not just about your absence. It's about the memories, the emotions, and the unique energy you bring into their life. It's about creating a space in their mind that only you can fill. But here's the catch. Making someone miss you isn't about playing games or being someone you're not. It's about mastering the art of being memorable, admirable, and emotionally independent. It's about showing up in their life in a way that leaves a lasting impression. Now, let's get real for a moment. How often do we fall into the trap of being too available, too eager, or even too predictable? It's easy to do, especially when we care deeply for someone. But here's the truth. People tend to value what they can't always have. It's human nature. And that's why understanding how to create a healthy balance between presence and absence is so crucial. It's not about pulling away to punish someone. It's about giving them the space to realize just how much you mean to them. The greatest psychologists often says, the key to being missed is to be unforgettable. And being unforgettable isn't about grand gestures or constant attention. It's about the little things, the way you make someone feel, the memories you create together, and the confidence you exude in your own life. It's about being someone they admire, even when you're not around. And yes, there's a science to it. From the way our brain releases serotonin and dopamine when we think of someone we love, to the emotional triggers that make certain moments stick with us forever. So, if you're ready to learn the strategies that will make someone miss you in the most genuine and heartfelt way, you're in the right place. We're going to explore practical tips, backed by psychology, that you can start applying today. Whether it's through creating positive memories, embracing independence, or simply being your most authentic self. These methods will help you build stronger, healthier connections. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see relationships and yourself in a whole new light. But before we dive into the how, let's take a step back and understand the why. Why do we miss that deep longing for someone, and how does it shape the way we connect with others? Let's uncover the science and emotion behind this universal experience, missing. A word so uniquely, yet the feeling it describes is universal. It's that deep, almost bittersweet longing for someone or something that once brought joy. It's not just missing someone. It's the flood of emotions tied to memories, scents, and moments that made life feel alive. Imagine hearing a song that takes you back to a perfect day, or catching a whiff of a familiar perfume that instantly reminds you of someone special. That's missing in action, weaving together memory and emotion into something unforgettable. From a psychological perspective, missing is rooted in the way our brain processes memories. Positive experiences trigger the release of serotonin and dopamine, those feel-good chemicals that light up our brain's reward system. When we think back to those moments, our brain craves the same emotional high, creating a longing to relive them. It's why we often associate missing with happiness, even if it's tinged with a little sadness. It's not just about missing someone, it's about missing how they made us feel. But why does this feeling hit so hard? Neuroscience has an answer. Our brains are wired to connect emotions with specific people, places, or objects. For example, a couple might feel missing when they remember their favorite cafe. Not because of the coffee, but because of the laughter and connection they shared there. It's the same reason why a simple text from someone you care about can instantly brighten your day. It's a trigger for those happy hormones. Interestingly, missing isn't just about the past, it's also about hope. It's the desire to recreate those moments or reconnect with someone who made them special. Think about it. When you miss someone, you're not just longing for their presence. You're longing for the emotions they bring into your life. This is why missing can be such a powerful motivator in relationships. It reminds us of what truly matters and pushes us to cherish the connections we have. However, it's important to understand that not all longing is healthy. Sometimes we confuse missing with dependency, clinging to someone out of fear rather than genuine affection. True missing stems from a place of love and admiration, not desperation. It's about appreciating someone's impact on your life, not feeling incomplete without them. This distinction is crucial for building relationships that are both meaningful and balanced. Now that we've explored why we miss someone, it's time to shift gears. While this emotion can be beautiful, it's also something we can inspire in others. Imagine being the person someone else miss, not because you're absent, but because your presence is so deeply valued. But how do we do that without falling into toxic patterns? Let's uncover what not to do when trying to make someone miss you. When it comes to making someone miss you, the first rule is simple: don't try to manipulate their emotions. The greatest psychologists emphasize that genuine connection comes from authenticity, not games. Ignoring calls or texts on purpose, for instance, might seem like a clever way to create distance, but it often backfires. Instead of making someone feel your absence, it can make them feel unimportant or even resentful. Relationships thrive on mutual respect, not calculated silence. Another common mistake is using jealousy as a tool. Posting pictures with other people on social media or intentionally trying to spark envy might grab attention, but it's the wrong kind. This kind of behavior creates insecurity and distrust, which are the enemies of a healthy relationship. If you want someone to admire and miss you, focus on building trust and positivity, not stirring up unnecessary drama. Remember, admiration grows from respect, not chaos. Being overly present is another pitfall to avoid. While it's natural to want to spend time with someone you care about, there's a fine line between being attentive and being clingy. Constantly texting, calling, or showing up uninvited can overwhelm the other person and make your presence feel suffocating. The greatest psychologists remind us that space is essential for reflection and appreciation. Without it, even the strongest connections can feel strained. Social media can also be a double-edged sword. While it's tempting to stay visible online, oversharing or constantly updating your status can diminish your mystery. People are naturally drawn to curiosity and intrigue, so leaving a little to the imagination can go a long way. Instead of flooding your feed, focus on quality over quantity. A well-timed post or a meaningful interaction can leave a stronger impression than a constant stream of updates. Lastly, avoid being overly dependent on the other person for your happiness. Clinging to someone emotionally or seeking constant validation can make you seem insecure and needy. Independence is attractive. It shows that you have a fulfilling life outside of the relationship. The greatest psychologists stress the importance of autonomy in creating a dynamic where both people feel valued and respected. When you're confident and self-assured, others naturally gravitate toward you. Now that we've covered what not to do, let's flip the script. If you're wondering how to genuinely make someone miss you, it's time to dive into actionable strategies. From leaving subtle reminders of yourself to embracing your independence, these tips will help you create a lasting impression without resorting to games. If you want to leave a lasting impression on someone, it's all about the little things that stick in their mind. One clever trick is to leave something behind on purpose. A small, personal item like a bracelet, a book, or even a pair of sunglasses. The greatest psychologists explain that objects tied to memories can trigger emotions and keep you on someone's mind. It's not just about the item itself, it's about the story it tells. For example, leaving your favorite book at their place gives them a reason to reach out and creates a subtle reminder of your presence. Another powerful strategy is to use a signature scent. Fragrances have a unique way of embedding themselves into memory. Think about it. How often does a particular smell instantly remind you of someone? Wearing a distinctive perfume or cologne can create an emotional anchor, making your presence unforgettable even when you're not around. The next time they catch a similar scent, their mind will wander back to you and the moments you shared. Giving someone space is equally important. It might sound counterintuitive, but time apart can actually strengthen a connection. When you're constantly available, it's easy to be taken for granted. The greatest psychologists highlight that distance allows for reflection, giving the other person time to appreciate your value. Use this time to focus on your own hobbies, friendships, and personal growth. Not only does this make you more interesting, but it also shows that you're confident and independent. Speaking of independence, maintaining your own life outside the relationship is crucial. Pursue your passions, spend time with friends, and invest in your personal goals. Research shows that couples who maintain individuality within their relationships tend to be happier and more fulfilled. For example, if you love painting or hiking, make time for those activities. It's not about being distant. It's about showing that you're a whole person with or without them. This kind of emotional autonomy is incredibly attractive. Social media can also be a strategic tool, if used wisely. Instead of posting every detail of your life, focus on creating curiosity. Share meaningful moments, but don't overshare. A single, well-thought-out post can spark interest and keep you in their thoughts without being overwhelming. For instance, posting a photo of a beautiful sunset with a thought-provoking caption can leave them wondering what you're up to, without giving away too much. Finally, be someone worth missing. Confidence, positivity, and self-respect are magnetic qualities. The greatest psychologists emphasize that people are drawn to those who radiate energy and purpose. Cultivate a life that's rich and fulfilling, not because you want to impress someone, but because you deserve it. When you're genuinely happy and self-assured, others can't help but admire you. And that admiration, it's the foundation of being unforgettable. Now that you've got the tools to leave a lasting impression, let's take a step back and explore the deeper dynamics of admiration. What makes someone truly stand out? Let's dive into some metaphors and reflections that will change the way you think about relationships. Have you ever noticed the difference between an eagle and a dog? An eagle soars high, admired for its grace and independence, while a dog eagerly chases after every ball thrown its way. The greatest psychologists often use this metaphor to explain how admiration works in relationships. When you're constantly available, like the dog chasing every ball, you risk losing your allure. But when you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of an eagle, people can't help but look up to you. It's not about being distant, it's about being selective and self-assured. Another powerful metaphor is the lion. Imagine a lion sitting calmly in its territory, exuding strength and confidence. It doesn't chase after attention, it commands it naturally. Now, compare that to someone who's always running after others, trying to prove their worth. The lesson here is simple. Confidence and self-respect are far more attractive than desperation. When you stop chasing and start valuing yourself, others will begin to see you in a new light. It's about learning to hold your ground and letting your presence speak for itself. Relationships are often like a game of catch. If one person is always throwing the ball, while the other never tosses it back, the game becomes one-sided and exhausting. The greatest psychologists remind us that balance is key. You don't need to constantly throw the ball to keep someone's attention. Sometimes, letting the ball sit on the ground creates curiosity and intrigue. It's a reminder that relationships thrive on mutual effort, not overexertion from one side. On a more scientific note, admiration and longing are deeply tied to our brain chemistry. When we think of someone we admire, our brain releases serotonin and dopamine, the same hormones responsible for happiness and pleasure. This is why creating positive memories with someone is so impactful. Every time they think of you, their brain associates you with those feel-good emotions. It's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs that leads straight back to you. But here's the catch. Admiration isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. If you don't value your own worth, how can you expect someone else to? The greatest psychologists emphasize the importance of self-respect and emotional independence. When you focus on building a life that you're proud of, you naturally become someone others admire. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about embracing your strengths and owning your flaws. So, what kind of person do you want to be? An eagle soaring high, admired for its independence? A lion commanding respect with quiet confidence? Or a dog chasing after every ball, desperate for attention? The choice is yours. And as we wrap up these reflections, let's bring everything together with a motivational message that will inspire you to take action. The truth is, no one misses someone who clings too tightly or constantly seeks validation. The greatest psychologists agree that the key to being missed is to be someone who radiates independence, confidence, and emotional strength. When you embrace your own worth and live a fulfilling life, you naturally become unforgettable. People are drawn to those who inspire admiration, not those who demand attention. So, the question is, are you ready to become that person? Think about it. What steps can you take today to create a life that others admire? Maybe it's pursuing a passion you've been putting off, or perhaps it's setting boundaries in your relationships. Whatever it is, remember that the most attractive quality you can have is a sense of purpose. When you focus on your own growth and happiness, you not only enrich your own life, but also become someone others can't help but value. It's a win-win. Now, let's get personal. Are you the eagle soaring high, or are you still chasing after every ball like the dog? it's time to reflect on how you carry yourself in your relationships. Are you giving others the space to appreciate you, or are you overwhelming them with constant availability? These are tough questions, but they're worth asking. After all, the only way to change is to first recognize where you stand. Here's a challenge for you. Take one of the strategies we've discussed and put it into action this week. Maybe it's leaving something behind on purpose, or perhaps it's stepping back from social media for a few days. Whatever you choose, commit to it fully and observe the results. You might be surprised at how small changes can create a big impact. And remember, this isn't about manipulation. It's about creating healthy, meaningful connections. So, what's stopping you from becoming the person who's truly missed and admired? The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most rewarding. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as your relationships transform. And don't forget, this is a journey, not a destination. Every step you take toward emotional independence and self-respect brings you closer to the life and relationships you deserve. If you found this helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn and grow. After all, the best relationships start with the best version of you.